For over 10 years, HDFC Bank's CSR arm Parivartan has been driving change across the country. Operating across all 28 states and 8 union territories, its initiatives build sustainable ecosystems through interventions in skilling, education, healthcare, financial literacy, rural development and natural resource management.
The decade of Parivartan has meant a decade of impact. We've touched over 10 crore lives, strengthening rural communities, supporting education and enhancing livelihoods.
In Ladakh, where glaciers are retreating and water scarcity is rising, climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's a present-day reality. That's why, since July 2021, Parivartan, the CSR arm of HDFC Bank, has been working on the ground to offer solutions shaped by the land, the people and their way of life.
For nearly a decade, every initiative under HDFC Bank's Parivartan has been dedicated to implementing indigenous solutions for local challenges. So when we started working in Ladakh, one thing was clear. This terrain plays by its own rules. In fact, the terrain demands solutions that traditional water conservation methods simply cannot provide. That is why, alongside our on-ground partners, Hayal and the Himuthan Society, we implemented solutions just as unique as the terrain, the artificial glaciers.
The Stupas, an innovation by Ladakhi engineer Sonam Wangchuk, are created in winter using runoff or spring water that's carried by underground pipes downhill. The water is released when temperatures drop below 0 degrees Celsius. It shoots through a sprinkler into the air and freezes layer by layer, forming a towering ice cone.
These glaciers are made between the elevation of the village and the natural glacier, somewhere in between, strategically, that when the spring arrives, it is this location which will be warm enough. This glacier will start to melt and this glacier will provide water to the farms.
Building and maintaining these stupas is no small feat. Villagers trek over 4 kilometers in freezing temperatures to manually regulate water flow. But with support from HDFC Bank Parivartan and their local partners, this labor-intensive process was completely automated.
ये पिछले 2 से 3 साल की मेहनत के बाद बना है। उसमें काफ़ी रिसर्च डेवलपमेंट गया जो HDFC परिवर्तन ने हमें सपोर्ट किया था उसके थ्रू। यहाँ पर एक सोलर पैनल है जो एक बैटरी को पावर कर रहा है और वो बैटरी इस सिस्टम को पावर कर रही है।
And in order to save more time and energy and effort, we have put a directional antenna based Wi-Fi system. So there's network here on site. So what essentially that means is I can sit in my home, open my phone, we have developed an app and I can see what's happening on my system and I don't even need to come to the site.
With reliable water supply, the focus shifted to boosting agricultural productivity. With passive solar greenhouses designed specifically for Ladakh's harsh winters, the growing season extends. Farmers are trained in modern, climate-resilient techniques, improving soil fertility, reducing chemical dependence, and ensuring food security. On once fallow land, farmers successfully grew watermelon and tomatoes, selling them in local markets. Market access was the next challenge. Take apricots, renowned for their flavor and quality, yet held back by a short shelf life and lack of processing infrastructure. That's where Parivartan stepped in, introducing solar dryers, extending shelf life and improving market access. Farmers were able to double their income. But Ladakh's story isn't just about farming. Livelihoods need to be diverse. So, HDFC Bank Parivartan strengthened weaving clusters, helping women turn tradition into a source of income. Handloom weaving is reviving traditions and empowering women with financial independence. And all of this is powered by the best renewable resource, solar energy. From fields across 7 villages to homestays which absorb solar energy, keeping the homes insulated from the extreme cold in winters, Parivartan is paving the way for sustainable winter tourism and new income opportunities.
लद्दाख में टेम्परेचर्स वैसे ही नॉर्मली -20 तक जाते हैं, -25 तक जाते हैं, तो यहाँ बहुत ठंड होती है। बट नाउ सोलर की ऊर्जा से हम लोग
घर को गर्म रखते हैं।
And when growth accelerates, waste management becomes crucial. HDFC Bank Parivartan is leading the way by setting up multiple MRF facilities in this region, championing segregation, recycling and responsible disposal, ensuring progress doesn't come at nature's cost.
Our work in Ladakh is just one example of how local challenges need locally tailored solutions. This is what Parivartan stands for, building interconnected ecosystems that can grow to be self-sustaining. As we look to the future, sustainability is no longer a choice, it's a necessity. With our newly adopted focus area of natural resource management, HDFC Bank Parivartan aims to protect ecosystems and empower communities with solutions that safeguard their very livelihoods. This is about long-term impact. This is Parivartan.